No Limit Texas Hold'em is the Cadillac of poker.
You don't happen to have $8,000 on you?
Oh, no, we don't use money in heaven.
Comes in pretty handy down here, bub.
Oh,
You just won $1 million!
You're making a run at it, aren't you? Rolling up a stake and going to Vegas.
I did have this really great plan. Come to the top of the Rio parking garage, and you have this really nice view of the strip in the background, you know, very cinematic and everything. Right now, it is 35 degrees outside. Yeah, it's way too cold to stand outside and vlog. I grew up in Charleston and in Florida. If the temperature starts with a 6, it's chilly. Let's get the channel updated on what's been happening in 2018 thus far. Number 1. What's been going on with the bank situation? If you don't know about that, go ahead and watch this video right here. So for the most part, it's been pretty disappointing news, but I am not drawing dead. On the bank's end, they're pretty much viewing this as a closed issue, and they're really not doing anything more unless I serve them with court papers. And I had mentioned in the previous video, getting a firm to take your case pro bono when you're a homeless gambler with no verifiable income. And I was just unsuccessful in my attempts at that. However, silver lining, a $50 billion lawsuit was recently filed against Western Union for scams such as these over the past few years. So I'm currently in that application process. However, lawsuits, especially sizable class action lawsuits, are anything but quick. It could very well be well into 2019 before any action is accomplished, assuming my case is accepted, which is still an unknown at this point. The recap is likely not, but maybe. Number 2, the job situation. So far, no news really. I'd mentioned that aviation job, pretty frustrating honestly. I was told by Christmas I should know something. 2 months later, I still don't really know anything. I'd put like several things on hold for this year, just waiting to hear about this. That was going to greatly impact my plans for 2018. At this point, I'll just like keep it on the back burner, but not going to sit around anymore, wait for something that might already be a no, and it's just been poor communication. Some of you are probably wondering, well, why'd you waste 2 whole months waiting for a single job opportunity? Well, this particular job would have paid around $800 a day. Pretty big equity spot. Recap of the job? Likely not, but maybe. Also, in the interest of transparency for the vlog, I have actually picked up a side gig 2 or 3 days a week. Crew member for a hot air balloon company, which is kind of an interesting little gig. It's like from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It only pays about like $60 a day. So it's not really enough to pay the bills, but it's enough to pay a bill, which is nice, especially when your finances aren't all that great. It's nice to have like at least a little bit of steady income, which has been good. Las Vegas Review Journal came out and did a story on the company. I'll link that below if you want to see what that looks like. Number 3, what have I been up to poker-wise in 2018? With this reduced role, I've been even more nitty. What? How is that possible? I thought I was the GOAT of that. As far as game selection goes, okay, dude, chill. Limited play to mostly just weekends. Occasionally, if there was a daily tournament that only had 1 table and was overlaying, play those. And it had been going pretty decent. Not great, but not awful. Just steadily profitable. I hit my peak at the start of Super Bowl weekend. I only played like 17 sessions, but I was up $1,000 when like maintaining a decent hourly. And then at the end of Super Bowl weekend to now, yeah, I've just been getting wrecked.
I was really up big.
Looking back at all the spots, pretty happy with all of my plays, getting the money in profitably, which is the point of poker. Quick examples: Ace King to 10-8 offsuit, all in pre. Ace King to Ace 4 suited, all in pre. Ace King suited to Queen Jack, all in pre. Cause it's a drawing hand, it's not even a pair, dude. I keep telling you that. Why would you ever stick your money in with ace high? You think that's good? Yeah, sure dude. Ran into a cooler aces against 6 deuce offsuit on a flop of 6-6-4. So yeah, it's just been pretty crappy to downswing when I can't afford to downswing. So now the bankroll, which is also a life roll. I know some people like pay themselves an hourly from their poker earnings. For me, it's just been like, what's your bankroll? Everything we got? What do you think it's at? So if we were in the danger zone before, now it's like a red alert danger zone. Pretty diminished. It's now sitting like under like $2,000. I know. Now, I do have one possible boost to the bankroll of about $1,400, matured CD that I'm in the process of collecting. Transparency in the vlog, man, just putting a lot of stuff out there. And then I'm also not simply going to go completely stone broke and start holding a cardboard sign saying, downswing, need a been buying. If I do go down to like around like 1 month of living expenses left, take a quick break from poker, go back to work, hopefully in the aviation industry that would pay pretty decent, save up a decent enough roll, and come back. Recap of poker. Not dead yet, but maybe number 4. Alright, let's get into some goals for 2018. Goal number 1, get into better shape. I'd really like to be around 150 pounds. I started the year at 120. But I also wanted to be a little bit more specific other than get into better shape, because I feel like a generic goal like that just sort of sets you up for failure if you don't have anything measurable to attain it. And I really struggled with coming up with something like running a marathon, or even like a Dan Brazilian bike ride to LA would be really cool, but those are also really cardio intense, which counters putting on muscle for guys with crazy high metabolisms like mine. So I decided on an obstacle course race. The terrain racing mud run, to be exact, takes place in October, so it gives me plenty of time to train. It is only a 5K. The cardio training is not going to be that intense for it. There are over 20 obstacles in this race, which should be fairly physically challenging. I've done a couple of these mud runs in the past, really had a lot of fun with them, though I've never trained competitively for them. So my goal is to not only run this race, but to place in the top 10 finishers. Looking at the previous times, I think that this is something that is attainable. I haven't run this race before. I really honestly just might show up and get wrecked by a bunch of athletic freaks that run these all the time. But that is the goal, and there will be a vlog about it. Goal 2, rebuild the bankroll. What bankroll? I haven't really finalized a specific and measurable amount for this one, as things are still kind of a little bit up in the air of whether I would go back to a normal 9-to-5 job or not. One thing I am decided on is I will not be playing overrolled for 1-2 and 1-3 any longer. Once I get to 15K, I would move up to Bellagio 2-5 and win 1-3, which are both $500 cap games. And then after that, once I got to 30,000, I'd just move up to 2-5 1K cap. There's quite a bit of debate on proper bankroll management, big blinds versus buy-ins, like, different things like that. For me, and looking at what my standard deviation is, I believe a 30 max buy-in rule is pretty decent. Let me know what you think of bankroll management. Future news, Harrah's and Flamingo are running some pretty decent promotions for free roll hours. Well, you know, dude, we're broke. So after taking a look at my cash rate in these small daily, really end up being 1 to 3 table sit and goes essentially. That's usually what these weekly free rolls end up being as well. You're also earning hours towards monthly ones, which have a little bit bigger prize pools. Harrah's has an over $80,000 prize pool where top 40 pay, and up top there are 5 WSOP main event seats. So I think there's some pretty good value in that. What can I say? When you're trying to be conservative with your bankroll, you really start to examine just every avenue that there might be some possible value. So given that I'm already a profitable player in these high rake turbo dailies, which is just in itself fairly difficult to do, I expect to maintain a pretty big edge in these free rolls that I play. It's at least worth a couple weeks of putting in not even that many hours and just seeing how they are and seeing how they play. Did quite a bit of research into this to try and really decide if this was my time, and talking to a few respected peers in poker, it came to the conclusion that it's at least worth a shot to at least, you know, give it a couple weeks and see how it goes. Goal number 3, I want to write 15 articles in 2018. PokerNews published a couple of my articles last year, which was pretty cool. Link those below if you're interested in reading them. I don't get paid for these. There's no monetary incentive for me. However, writing is something I do enjoy doing. I have several ideas for upcoming articles, and many of them can honestly go along with some of the vlogs. The person in charge of that section of Poker News recently stepped down at the end of the year. I had submitted an article several weeks ago, and for weeks it was just awaiting approval. So I was really unsure if this was going to continue to be an outlet for me. I did just get an email from Poker News yesterday saying they really liked the article and going to publish my next one. I'll link that once that is up. Goal number 4. I'd like to get out 30 vlogs this year. In 2017, I was pretty inconsistent with everything. Vlogs 17 and 18 are about 3 months old. Now in 2018, I haven't been as consistent, like once every single week. I've been much more consistent, I feel like, and that's a pretty big thing when it comes to YouTube. The editing grind is real. Vlogs 19 and 20 were around 25 hours each. It really takes a lot to take something from raw video and then make it into a polished, clean, snappy vlog with graphics, music, sound effects, titles, and everything like that, and have all the layers synced up properly to one another. What has been really encouraging, though, is the analytics and feedback that I've gotten on these past few vlogs really shown that the editing is being appreciated and paying off. And goal number 5 was just to manage my time better. 2017, I got pretty lazy towards the end of the year. When I first moved out to Vegas, I had like a really strict schedule of 8 a.m. breakfast, 8:30, you know, brush your teeth, 8:35, bang, 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 like all these different time blocks. And not only was that not really attainable, but I also had that for playing poker, like play poker from X time to X time. And especially living in Las Vegas, where the games honestly jump around so much, not just day to day, but week to week, depending on who's in town, what's in town, etc. Games could be firing every single day for a week, and then next week there's hardly any games running. That's just some Las Vegas sometimes. So long story short, I ended up scrapping my schedule. I didn't have any goals or priorities, and really just wasted a lot of time, honestly, and you know, would binge Netflix or not put in the hours on the felt, not really being productive in a lot of forms of my life. And I've been following my schedule pretty well thus far. Not every day is a lifting day at the gym, but I am proud to say that I've never missed a workout yet. And then my diet along with that has gotten better as well. I know some people are saying canned pineapple, fast food, casino pizza. How in the world is that anywhere close to a good diet? That's just one of the inherited cons of vlogging. If you don't show it, then it never happened. If you do show it, then that's exactly how it is every single day. It really is difficult to film and remember to put in every single detail of your day. Breakfast isn't just canned pineapple. I can have a variety of different fruits. Oatmeal and granola are pretty decent options as well that I've discovered. And then lunch isn't always fast food either. Decent amount of time I also have peanut butter sandwiches or just like meat and cheese sandwiches. For dinner, usually off of comps, there's quite a good variety here in the $8 to $10 range that you can get, from Italian to Mexican to sandwich shops. And I use the MyFitnessPal app. You put in you're consuming X amount of calories a day, then it will also give you your other nutritional values for how many vitamins and things like that you should be consuming as well. So that brings everybody all up to speed. You all know what I know now. No more 3-month overdue vlogs. Priestley, where you at? And now, ladies and gentlemen, super excited. The American Poker Words are tonight. Guess who received an official invitation? I know, dude. Are you kidding me? It's literally gonna be
everyone who is anyone in poker is here right now, and
plus Bite King. How a 1-2 homeless dude got an invitation to Poker Oscars? I'm not asking questions either. Take the invitation and run, right? Clearly there will be a vlog about this, and hopefully I can also parlay this into some really cool networking opportunities in the future. I've mentioned before, I'm just a really big fan of this game. This is just a really cool opportunity. Wrapping everything up now. Honestly, right now, I'm pretty happy and feel like that I have a pretty decent quality of life right now. I realize that probably sounds completely opposite to what some people are thinking. Living in your car, nearly dead broke. Aren't you like rock bottom into the rope?
I'm fine.
Really?
I think it really just depends on your perspective and your outlook on life. I was living in my car when I could easily afford a nice apartment. One of two things is going to happen with poker. The downswing will stop. I will start to rebuild a roll. Or the downswing will not stop. I will get a job, save up some money, and start back again. Big picture wise, it's not really going to drastically negatively affect my life whatever happens. Many people, especially people in poker, look at happiness directly correlated with money, which makes sense because no rich people have ever dealt with addiction or depression or suicide or anything. I believe life is just about pursuing your passions, to really live life fully alive. I know this is all going to sound like really cliche, live your best life now, fall 7 times, stand up 8. I really do think that life can be pretty simple, and a lot of people insist on making it complicated. Sorry, but I am a huge Rocky fan, okay? My point is, I'm pursuing something and nobody looks too happy about it. It's your right to listen to your gut, and ain't nobody's right to say no. Actually, you have the right to be what you want to be and do what you want to do. Over 70% of Americans hate their jobs. I know a decent number of people that do, or at least they're not pursuing their passion, and they just settled for something that pays the bills. If it's your passion to sit in a cubicle, go sit in a cubicle. If it's your passion to travel the world, go travel. If it's your passion to play poker, go play poker. You have this one short life. To me, it just doesn't make sense to spend it on stuff you're not passionate about. I left a pretty lucrative job industry in aviation. Graduated top of my class with highest honors, received one of the top job offers out of school, a 6-figure earning potential, holding the license and all the certifications that I do hold, especially if you're willing to work overseas. 6-figure income is very easily attainable. I didn't move to Las Vegas to play 1-2 for the money. I moved to Las Vegas for the passion. I really love this game. It's the hardest strategy game in the world, so complex, it's always evolving, really a fascinating game to me. A lot of people would just say that I threw that schooling away. I did learn quite a few valuable lessons in school. Not only do I still maintain that license and I could still go back to work if I chose, I mean, just because you went a little bit roundabout way to discovering what your passion is, does that mean you wasted time doing so? Fellow vlogger Brad Owen, he went to college. His plan initially was not for poker. He worked the 9 to 5, discovered a passion in poker, and he went for it. I think that makes perfect sense. Alright, well, that's enough of a rant, I suppose. I really hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up once or the thumbs down twice, because you get 2 times. You should definitely subscribe to see where this poker roller coaster is going to take me. And as always, any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on all my other social media as well. Twitter and Instagram, also on Snapchat, but Instagram's better. Deuces.